There's been some talk about the speed of the investigation. I've heard talk that it was a slow investigation. Like, is there anything going to happen on this case? Oh my God, this case is a textbook example of how screwed you are when the government really wants you. All the resources are out there. And in most crimes, they don't care. And it takes years to develop an investigation. It could take years to come back and charge somebody. But in this case, put it in perspective. The murders happened on November 13th, 2022. Today, we're in early January 2023. So barely, 8 weeks ago, the murders happened. And nobody knew who it was. It's not like there's a kid going, Uncle Joe did it, go get him. I mean, yeah, if that was the case, it shouldn't take 8 weeks to go find him. But this is a case where no clue who this guy is. I think one of the witnesses says that some dude walks out dressed in all black, looking like a ninja with a COVID black mask on. No clues at all. She didn't recognize him. He had bushy eyebrows. There's 20 bazillion people on this planet with bushy eyebrows. It doesn't take you anywhere. So what do? First thing they do is they knock on doors. Can you imagine? The whole police force for this small town out in Idaho is out knocking on doors, trying to wake people up, asking for video. People are handing them video. If you get a reel of 24 hours of video, I got news for you. There's no way to watch that quickly. You can fast forward it, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you have to catch every detail. So if you got 24 hours of video, it's probably going to take you 24 hours to watch it. So all of this manpower, searching and searching and searching. Because again, we don't know what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody walking, everybody who's walking around, every car that passes, every bicycle that passes, every dog that barks is a potential clue in the beginning. So as you're watching this video, you're trying to record all this and they communicate it all amongst the team. Well, somehow they collect all this video, they get it watched, and they cull it down to a white car that's interesting to them. So then they just walk over. Of course, that's not a long conversation. They show some specialist this video and say, hey, what kind of car do you think this is? And whoever the modern day version of Mona Lisa from My Cousin Vinny is says, I think it's a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. That doesn't take much time. But then what? That's all you know. I mean, how many Hyundai Elantras are there? Everywhere. So the next thing they do is go search all of these records. Parking meter violations, student registrations, records of traffic stops, motor vehicle registrations, all kinds of registrations to try to find out, are there any 2011 to 2016 Hyundais in this area that are potentially interesting to us? Again, takes forever. Let's say they get one back. Oh, a 2012 Hyundai was stopped 3 weeks ago. Okay, now we got to go find out who this person is, where they're at. Oh, he's moved to New York. Okay, it doesn't matter anymore. They have to chase down every one of those leads, and they do all of that stuff, and then they come up with Koberger. Then they go out to his house, and then that investigation starts. But then from there, the investigation turns to the phone. They get Koberger again, like we talked about. They get Koberger's phone number from a traffic stop, and then they order those records from AT&T. They collect the cell phone data from locations from when the phone was open, June 22nd until present, which is now we're talking about December. So 6 months of location data. Location, think about it in your life. All the places you go during the day. Some of us are lame and we never leave home. That's easy. That's not this dude. Some of us leave in the morning. We go to Starbucks. Then we go to work. Then we go to the gym. Then we go to the grocery store. Then we go to the bar. Then we go places we're not supposed to be. Then we go back home. All of this time hitting on new cell towers. Well, this information for all of that time, 6+ months, comes in some form. And it's given to the FBI's cellular analysis support team. Unfortunately, all of us have a phone now. Our mom tells us to get off the phone. Well, this dude probably should have taken that advice, because we all take our phones with us, even when we go out to kill people, which I'm not saying he did, but just in case, he took his phone with him, because why would we leave it at home? So the FBI has a specialized group, the CAS team, and I've seen them at trial. It's not fun. There's not a question that you can ask these guys. These guys are geeks. They fly in from Washington. The jurors look at them like, oh my God, cast, FBI, special agent. They get out these fancy flowcharts. They start throwing up slides that you in your wildest dreams couldn't prepare, of diagrams of cell towers and bubbles and everything else. And they just awe the jury for like 3 days on how all this stuff works. If you think you're going to get up as a lawyer and break them down and get them to start crying and say everything's bullshit, it ain't happening. Best thing to do, no questions. Anyway, the cast people come in. They look at all this data and they figure out all these different places this guy's been. One thing they figure out, no, he wasn't near the house at the time of the murder. But of course, anybody with half a brain knows about the cast, knows put it in airplane mode, shut it off, don't take your phone with you. So it's no surprise that he's not there. But the phone does travel before the times of the murder from Washington over to Idaho and then back to Washington after the murders. So apparently, flip it in airplane mode, drive for a while, flip it in airplane mode, go kill some people, then flip it back on, then come home. That's what they say anyway. But anyway, all of the cast people, I think they get the cell phone data information on December 23rd. Christmas, by the way, was December 25th. And analyze it, and then on December 30th, this is written. So from the time they get this huge amount of information to the time they know that it's Koberger, or they think that it's Koberger, was 7 days, which included Christmas and probably 2 weekends, or at least 1 weekend. That is moving at the speed of light. The FBI was involved. The Idaho State Police was involved. The Moscow Police Department, which is probably 10 people. I don't know how many people it is. And the Washington people, the universities, everybody's all involved. When they want you and they come after you with everything they got, it will happen quickly. I cannot believe there's any comment as to the pace of this investigation being slow. It went at lightning speed.